Before we embark on our journey, let us first cleanse our hearts and minds and prepare them to receive the divine wisdom. Let us recite the Bismillah in its entirety. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim, which translates to, in the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. This invocation is not just a phrase, it is a state of mind, a state of heart. It is the beginning of all things good and pure. By uttering these words, we seek Allah's blessings and guidance as we delve into the profound understanding of Ahlebait. Now, with our hearts filled with reverence and our minds open to enlightenment, let's begin our journey. The term Ahlebait holds a sacred place in the Muslim faith. It translates to people of the house and refers specifically to the family of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. This group includes the Prophet himself, his daughter Fatimah, her husband Ali, and their sons Hassan and Hussein and their sons. These 5 figures are not just historical icons, but embodiments of the spiritual and moral principles that form the core of Islamic teachings. They are the guides, the leaders, the torchbearers of righteousness and virtue who have enlightened the path of millions of believers around the globe. The importance of the Ahlebait is deeply rooted in the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad. In the Hadith of the Cloak, found in Sahih Muslim, one of the most authoritative books of Hadith, the Prophet is reported to have gathered the Ahlebait under a cloak and declared them as his family, stating that Allah wishes to keep impurity away from them and purify them with a thorough purification. The Ahlebait's significance extends beyond their familial connection to the Prophet. They are revered for their unwavering faith, their deep wisdom, and their unparalleled courage. Each member of the Ahlebait has left a lasting legacy. Ali, for instance, is celebrated for his bravery and his eloquence, Fatimah for her piety and her strength, Hassan and Hussein for their leadership and their sacrifice. Indeed, the love and respect for the Ahlebait is a central aspect of Muslim faith. It is a love that transcends borders and cultures, a love that is passed down from generation to generation. As we conclude our exploration of the Ahlebait, we find ourselves humbled by their legacy. We find ourselves inspired by their teachings, and we find ourselves called to emulate their virtues in our own lives. In the words of Imam Ali, people are either your brothers in faith or your equals in humanity. May we all strive to live by these words, to treat each other with kindness and respect, to remember the lessons of the Ahlebait, and to keep their memory alive in our hearts and in our actions. Until next time, peace be upon you all. In Shia Islam, the spiritual and political leadership of the Muslim community is vested in the Imams, descendants of the Prophet Muhammad. This concept is known as the Imamate, a foundational pillar of Shia faith. The Imams are revered not just as leaders, but as the embodiment of divine guidance, the bearers of the Prophet's knowledge and wisdom. Starting with Imam Ali, the cousin and son-in-law of Prophet Muhammad, the lineage of Imams continues with Hassan and Hussein, then to the 9 descendants of Hussein. Each Imam, in their own time, made significant contributions to the Islamic faith. They served as beacons of knowledge, justice, and spiritual enlightenment, guiding the community through tumultuous periods in Islamic history. These 12 Imams are not just historical figures, but are integral to the Shia faith and practice. They serve as the spiritual and temporal leaders of the Shia community, guiding them in all aspects of life. From the interpretation of Islamic laws to the moral and ethical conduct, the teachings of the 12 Imams continue to illuminate the path for believers. They are in essence the living legacy of the Ahlebait, embodying their virtues and carrying forward their mission. In the next part of this series, we will delve deeper into the life and teachings of each Imam. Until then, remember, their stories are not just history, they are a guide for life. Peace be upon you all.